Remember this video?
The easiest way to spot a T-spin is to look for one empty space between two blocks on the same level. From there, you build straight up on one side and build a single overhang on the other side. This forms an open-ended T-shaped hole where the T-piece will go.
Let's take this concept and go a little bit further with it. I'm sure if you've been trying this out, you've probably come across a problem with some of your T-spins. They end up leaving your board a mess, making it seem like making T-spins isn't worth it. I want to tell you that they are worth it. Just keep practicing because clean T-spin setups are definitely possible, and in fact, building them cleanly is a necessity if you want to add them to your arsenal. Here are a few tips to keep in mind as you're practicing your T-spin. The first tip is something you've probably heard from me time and time again, and you'll hear from me yet again in this video. Tip number 1.
Build clean and flat.
In the first T-spin video, I mentioned looking for a 3-wide flat top with a gap. But watch how easy it is to set up a T-spin when that flat area extends beyond that 3-column wide area. You end up with way more options for building the overhang. And if the gap is over a Tetris well, even better, because then you can chain combinations of T-spins and Tetrises together to earn more back-to-back bonuses. In fact, one of the reasons the 6-3 build, i.e. building up the first 6 columns, leaving a gap, then building up the remaining 3 columns, is popular for T-spin chains is due to the ease of maintaining a flat board with this setup. Of course, maintaining this setup is more difficult in multiplayer due to incoming opponent garbage, which leads to my next tip. FYI, this tip will also sound familiar because it's also universal across all of Tetris. Tip number 2.
Think ahead, Fivehead.
T-spin edition. As with everything, the hold and the preview pieces are essential for building clean T-spins to avoid stacking over top of garbage or misdrop holes. But more specifically with T-spins, you have to consider the blocks remaining after you perform a T-spin. Don't forget, when you perform a T-spin, you actually have 2 rotation options, of course excluding TSTs or set builds. Consider both options in case one option is better than the other. Take this example for instance. The first option is fine for completing a T-spin, but look at the piece in hold. It's a pesky O piece. In this case, we would have been okay to place the O piece here after the T-spin, but by rotating the piece one more time, it lets us place the O piece here instead, completing a combo which sends a bit more junk to your opponent. These little bouts of efficiency can sometimes change the tide of the game to your favor. Tip number 3. Overhang direction matters. It's hard to see at first, but a lot of the time you have a choice of which side you place your overhang. Why does that matter? Let's take a look at this setup. Notice how we have 2 options to set up a T-spin. One is to set up the overhang on the left, and one is to set up the overhang on the right. Now take a look at the bottom line with the cheese hole. Imagine what happens if we set up the overhang on the right. The overhang that will be left over after the T-spin is completed is going to block the cheese hole below, making it harder to clear. Now imagine this scenario, but worse where you don't have a T-piece available to complete the T-spin, but you're trying to keep the T-spin well open. Next thing you know, you're 8 rows above that cheese hole, leaving you even worse off than if you didn't set up the T-spin. In case you weren't sure, that's bad. Now let's take a look at creating the overhang on the left side. The T-spin gets completed, and you have access to that cheese hole to clear the garbage. Nice! So even if a T-spin setup looks obvious, take a look at what's underneath it first, scan your preview pieces to see if you can flip it, and if not, decide if it's still worth going for the T-spin or staying clean. This leads right into my next tip. Tip number 4. T-spins are not always the right answer. Note that this tip doesn't quite apply when you're learning T-spins or T-spin setups, but if you're playing in a game with consequence, like earning a high score or playing to win in multiplayer, always value the clean board over the T-spin, or if you're confident that you can work your way out to a clean board. Like most Tetris skills, T-spins are a tool and not an ultimate solution to everything. In the end though, practice makes perfect. So if you really want to learn to T-spin well, just keep trying. This has been my TED Talk. Thanks for watching.